Okay, hello everyone. So in this video we are going to see mysql. Okay, so the first question is that what is difference between sql and mysql? Most of us are always confused between these two terms. Okay, so actually the sql stands for structured query language. It is a standard language for accessing and manipulating database. So sql is actually the standard. Okay, so there are some other language, actually DBMS, which actually use this standard, and these DBMS are MySQL, Postgres, SQL Server, etc. So these are actually the database management system, and these database management system use the standard SQL, that is a structured query language. So in these all DBMS system, the general language structure is same, and MySQL is RDMS, relational database management system. In RDMS we can link two different tables so that we can form some meaningful collection of data. So in SQL, actually the commands are characterized into four different categories. Okay, so generally in SQL all the commands have been categorized into four different categories depending upon what they work. Like we have DDL, DML, DCL and TCL. So in DDL there are commands that can alter or change the structure of database. Those commands comes under the DDL, like drop, truncate, alter, create, rename, comment, etc. But actually in this some of commands actually doesn't change the structure of database, but since they can't be rolled back or they can't be undone, so they have been added into DDL. One of the command is truncate. Okay, so truncate is one of the command which actually doesn't change the structure, but it is still under DDL because it can't be rolled back. Second is the DML, which is known as data manipulation language. These are select, insert, delete and update. So whenever we want to change or we want to manipulate the data of database, we use these DML queries. The third is the DCL, that is data control language. So data control language is used to is related actually with the permissions. If you want to grant permission to some user to access the database, and if you want to remove the permission of some guys for the access of database, then we can use grant and revoke. We will see the practical later in next videos. And the last is the TCL, which is transaction control language. Example of the transaction control language is rollback, save point, commit and set transactions. So these all four categories are actually form these SQL commands. So here are some basic queries. If anyone wants to start the SQL, so he must know these basic queries actually. So let's see these basic queries one by one. Okay, so the first is like, just a second, let's make it something in light color. Yellow is good. So like creating database, so just we have to write create database and database name, that's it. Second is selecting that database. Just creating database is not enough. Like I have created create database result, so I have to use result in order to use that particular database. Then I can create a table. We know that in a particular table there are collection of in a particular database it has the collection of tables, and in tables we have number of columns and number of rows. So inside database, once we create the database and when we are inside that database, so now our target is to create the table. To create table we have a simple query which is select table result class 10 and marks integer 10. So in this we are creating a table whose name is result class 10. Marks is the column name and integer 10 is its data type. So marks, okay, it's a column name. So there will be a table which has only one column. Its name is marks, and this is the its data type. That means it can take only integer value, and this is its size. So uh, I can't input the integer which is greater than this 10. So once we create a column, then suppose we want to add another column in that table, then we have to alter table. So alter command also comes inside the DDL. So alter table name, add column name and its data type. So varchar, if you want to use a string and character both, so you can use varchar. Its size is also 10. Okay, so now we are going to insert some values. So insert into table name and values 12,89. So this is a shortcut method of inserting the value, because we have now two columns in our table and we are inserting the two values. Suppose that if I remove one of the value, then SQL will not know that this value is for which column. So to avoid this, there is another long method that is just below. So insert into table name, first we write the column name and then we write the values. So these values are matched with this column name. So this is a long method and this is a short method. In this method I haven't wrote actually this column name, but I have to provide each and every value for each column in order to make it valid. And the last is delete a row. So delete from table where ID is null. It will delete all the rows where column ID is null. And the last is the truncate. So truncate actually deletes data in bulk. So it will delete each and every data, but since it can't be rollback or it can't be undone, it is present inside the DDL. So practically we will see these all in the next video, but this was all about a basic theory and a startup for SQL. So okay, let's see in the next video. Thank you.